Like one of them I have noted, and I had already in my mind to ask him a question, but it is coming in line with that. How does struggle to become complete manifesting? Struggle means something you are trying to achieve and you are not able to get it, but you still keep on struggling. Sometimes you achieve it and sometimes you don't. So this is a kind of personal connection and question. Maharaji, what I'm trying to say today is that I had a obligation, family obligation to attend the marriage ceremony of my relative. It was so important and my family told me that you have to come. It's all very young.
Can you make it short? Is that a long story? Make it short.
No, it's short. But I didn't go anywhere. So I didn't go. I said that I have Japa, which is most important. And I could not convince them, but I convinced myself that Maharaj is saying no matter what, you don't have obligation to the society if you are Krishna conscious. But would you please justify my feelings and family, because we are in Grasta, we are going to face the problems. And we are going to ignore them and come to the Harinam temple.
Got it.
So
Have the question.
I
hope.
Good.
Three things. Another question Prabhu basically answered this question yesterday. It wasn't specifically this question, but related. We make practical arrangements in our lives. There's some others that shared some things with me this weekend. There's something else going on, family expectation, and so forth. We make practical arrangements. And the practical arrangement may be this or that or the other thing. So we have to consider who we are, our convictions. We have to consider the relations that we have. We don't trash the relations that we have. We place them in the hierarchical priority of Krishna's first, and other person's interests are to be pursuant to Krishna's interest. We see how to with a common sense and practical way, balance all of that. In other words, what we don't want is that the friends and relatives and people who have expectations feel badly towards Krishna. We want them to feel favorable towards Krishna. So how do we do that? It depends on the circumstance of the relationships in you. We don't want them to be antagonistic to Krishna. Still, Krishna is at the top. Sarva Dharmam Parityajya. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. We have to make sure that connection with Krishna is very strong. And then, going down, we have other dharmas and other duties and other responsibilities and relationships, and we want to keep the relationship with Krishna strong when doing those things. So it comes to the matter of practical application. And if you're not clear, anyone else are not clear, we consult with our superiors, with our peers, and take input rather than acting independently when we're not really sure. Well, one thing for sure, is if we're consciously pleasing Krishna, all other desirable things will follow. That's a statement by Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a matter of faith. Shraddha Shraddhe Vishwaskale Suhrida Nishtaya. Krishna Bhakti. So when Krishna Bhakti, that one thing is there, all other desirable things are there. That won't be pleasing to Krishna in terms of this social obligation and the expectations of others. What will be pleasing pleasing to Krishna. And stay focused on that, not just, I have no social obligations to family and other people, it's just Krishna. It depends on the individual. If one is an abject sannyasi, total renunciate, you can do that. And not be imbalanced. So it's time and circumstance, starting with your own Krishna consciousness, your own convictions. And then, not turning other people off to Krishna in the course of living your convictions. It requires some guidance and some wisdom. Krishna, do you have a question?
Well, I spent a lot of time.
Here's the microphone.
I spent a lot of time at different points in my Krishna consciousness, just really trying to perfect my chanting.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
But
Well, I find that in following some of these things that go through with feeling incompleteness or et cetera, we just really do get caught up in other things. So isn't that really just the pride that we feel these other responsibilities have a similar weight and importance on our actual human life than they really need to be? I mean, I can go to some places and sometimes just chant so nicely, and I don't seem capable of doing that on a daily basis, even though it's just a slip into this consciousness. It just doesn't seem to happen.
Well, so many things. Krishna consciousness is a process. And it's the submission unto Krishna that's the perfection. And in the stage of anishrita bhakti, there's things that interfere with that consistent submission to Krishna. When there's consistent striving for submission unto Krishna, things can go this way, things can go that way. There's duality in this world. Things go smoothly, things go bumpy. And it's okay, because the submission to Krishna is unflinching. That's, 10:14:8, the Tattva Kampa first. And then one feels, using the language of this morning, complete. Even circumstances are fraying to the max. That my mind, so it's, the focus behind it, the mind being focused is the intelligence discriminating. This is the position of shelter. And then from the heart or the soul, I'm taking shelter. Then the intelligence can guide the mind, and mind can remain steady even when things are fraying outside. And is it possible? Well, when anarthas become sufficiently eradicated by staying focused on chanting, as you said, over the years of devotional service, then you get closer and closer to that position. The anartha vritti stage reaches the ruchi stage, exactly taste, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shikshastakam 2 says I don't have, or speaking on our behalf, Nada. So we do our sadhana carefully to get to that stage. And then this humility is right at the top of the list, which is our topic. And so when things are going that way instead of this way, it's humbling. Yes? I can't do this on my own. Yes? I need mercy. Yes? And then you call out even more that I was when things were going smoothly, but it's going wrong. And that's the submission of the Christian part in humility. It's part of sadhana bhakti, and it's part of bhava bhakti, and it's certainly part of hema bhakti. We just cultivate. And the actual But we address ourselves, even in that impermanence, with the submission to Krishna, activated in how to do that. Lots of instruction is just distracted by the impermanent. And we want to do our duties. We want to do that which is responsible and what an exemplary Vaishnava will do in life. And then comes the dualities. You just stay fixed on the submission of the Krishna part with the intelligence that Krishna gives us how to manage the circumstances that sometimes are going nicely and sometimes are fraying. And sometimes just seem to explode. It is beyond our control. But we just stay fixed internally in devotion to Krishna. And Krishna will smile. We'll feel protected and safe in that shelter of Krishna, even when things are going crazy. It's easy to say, it's another thing to do, but that's the opportunity. You can say the challenge, but it's also the opportunity. In fact, Krishna is very kind. I can say this in a personal way. I'm getting so much opportunity to feel humbled by circumstances that my service has brought me into. In incredibly complex and challenging ways, like I've never experienced in my Krishna conscious life in all those years. So it's fantastic. It's challenging, but a little bit like I was saying with Rasika, it was very potent that it was her sharing. She wanted this, and all of a sudden it went the opposite direction. It just kept going and going and going and going and going and going and eating and smashed. Hey Krishna, hey Govinda. And even if it doesn't go like that, the sense of being connected. The circumstance may not change, but feeling connected. That's what we want. That gives a sense of completeness, even when things are completely upside down and frayed. It's 20 minutes before the hour. Anyone have a burning question? We'll take one question and then we'll end. Can someone take a microphone to the politician?
Thank you.
Hey, Krishna Maharaj. I have a question. I want to know if I'm being offensive to chanting. I have somebody in my life that likes to chant all the time.
Like to chant all the time.
He's sometimes my husband. He gets up sometimes at 1 o'clock in the morning and chants. He's been doing it for years. So every time we have time, he has a little time, he picks up his beat bag and he's chanting all the time. So sometimes I feel kind of left out. I've been trying. I've been married 32 years. I've been trying with him. But there's times I feel left out. I'm trying to join in. I've joined in with him 2 o'clock in the morning chanting. But it happens even after he gets home after work and he has his dinner, he picks up his beat bag and he walks around and chants. My question is, for me, sometimes feeling that he's not spending time with me, am I being offensive if I'm asked, if I'm interrupting him? Because he's a very nice person and he would give his time if I ask, but I feel like I'm interrupting his sadhana, or he's joyous of chanting, and it's been like that for years, and I'm kind of, when am I going to get purified that I can do what he's doing?
What a wonderful problem.
devotional service, sadhana is his devotional service, chanting is his devotional service also. But he says that to survive, that's what he needs to do. So.
Maharaj, you're sitting next to me.
What's that?
No.
He's sitting next to me. Wrong person. Wrong person.
Okay, so levity is always very nice. What to say? You're very fortunate, and your husband is very fortunate that he has a wife that feels that she doesn't want to interrupt her husband when he wants to pick up his beat bag at 1 o'clock in the morning and whatever, and when he comes home from work and whatever, that the wife doesn't want to interrupt that. Then on the other side, when one takes the responsibility for extending care to another, entering a relationship of marriage, then it's essential for both parties, not just one of the two parties, but both parties to have some sense of sensing the needs, interests, and concerns of the other person and accommodating the needs, interests, concerns of the other person, not one way, but both ways. So, your specific question is, am I offensive in wishing that my husband would schedule a little bit of time of attention, please? So, no, it's not offensive. And, I would think, now that we spoke this way in a public forum, some of our elders in our community here will reach out to you and your husband and extend some well wishes of elders to the members of the community, as elders are naturally, when there's a community, there's elders, and they help individuals in the community become peaceful and seeing to their needs and interests and concerns in the household responsibilities. Way up here, it's similar to the question was asked in the beginning. Way up here is Krishna, the shelter of Krishna's holy name. Then if this is not the other duties, just get trashed. They must be considered in light of the one. So the duty of husband is not just, it's also the duty of husband to wife. And the need of the wife in order to progress and not be resentful of Krishna. It's similar. So some guidance from elders to understand him and her and their needs, and not that he has to compromise or that she has to compromise, but they work together and seeing to their needs and interests and concerns. With Krishna at way to the top. And the other considerations, interest in oneself and in harmony with that one. So I hope that some of our elders in the community will take note of this message and in a private, quiet way reach out and again. Okay? With that,